Tom was the gentlest man. I remember once he told me that the longer he lived, the less he wanted anything to do with physical violence.
Quite a change for a man who'd been a fighter.
I remember one Saturday night, about a year ago. The place was packed, and John here had been sampling the Irish a little more than usual.
Well, you're not going to tell that one, Maeve, are you?
Yes, she is.
I certainly am.
Oh.
Now, mind you, you have to remember that John had only had in his whole career 2 fights.
Wait, too professional. I had a lot of amateur fights.
No, wait a minute. I almost got into it, Tom, a couple of times. You mean you and Tom?
Yeah, but it was all a misunderstanding.
Now, wait a minute. Tom and your father, they were having this heated discussion about Sugar Ray Robinson. Now, mind you, it was a very one-sided argument, because Tom in all of his life had never seen Sugar Ray fight.
Well, I was just trying to demonstrate how quick the man was
Yes.
with his fists. I was just fooling around.
Yes, and he gave him a quick jab and turned Tom quick around.
Oh, I had an awful feeling the minute I did it.
Well, Tom turned back. Oh, his face was beet red. And his fists were up here, you know, the way that fighters carry them. And he took 2 quick steps toward John.
Yeah?
And John went white in the face. Oh, dear God. And then just as quick as that, Tom sort of pulled himself together and came to his senses. And he looked at John and he said, "Oh, man, you didn't mean to do that now, did you?" Well, John went...
No such thing.
I didn't mean to hit you so hard. So Tom started grinning. He thought, well, I don't want to be the first man in this neighborhood to take on Mary Ryan's father. So he slapped John on the back. That was the first time I knew that he was sweet on my Mary.
He was a good man.
That dear man, one of the best.
Yes. Here's to him. Wherever he is, wishing he were here.
It's dear Tom.
Tom. May he rest in peace. Well, I've got to go mend a few fences.
Oh,
Oh, well. Politician's lot is an empty one.
remember to get some sleep, will
I'll
you?
try. What time is the mass tomorrow? 9?
9 it is.
Well, I'll see you all then, okay?
Good luck.
I can't help thinking that this party would be a lot better if Tom were here with us to help it go.
Much better.
Yes, he's one that'll be missed.
Where's Faith? Hardly had a word with her at the funeral parlor.
Bucky said she was taking it very hard and sticking to herself.
Hello? Who's there? Is someone out there? Bucky?
Landlord!
Landlord? Oh, no. The broken glass. Hey, look, I'm really sorry.
All right, stand your ground. Seems to me you and I have a business to take care of.
Can help or in the heat standing by.
All right, candles.
In the pantry.
Are they beeswax?
That is what I asked for.
Well, I'll check them out myself and find out. Now, about the dinner party tomorrow night. Has Audrey found someone to help serve?
I don't know.
Well, will you please find out? And in the future, Alicia, do try to stay on top of things. I need you to know what's going on.
Yes, Mrs. Woodard.
All right. That finishes this morning's list. At last, we're done.
I will go home then.
Fine.
Is there anything else that I can get you before I go?
No, that'll be all, thank you. Oh, Alicia, I'm sorry. I really am. I didn't mean for that to sound the way it did. Look, at times I'm afraid I can be pretty difficult, especially when I'm not getting my own way about something.
May I ask what it is that you're not getting your own way about? If it is something I did...
No, absolutely nothing you did, which is what makes my behavior just now doubly unfair.
I thought perhaps you were upset because of the delay in the note paper.
Oh, that? No, of course not. That sort of thing is normal. Oh, actually, it's Miss Coleridge who's complicating my life at the moment.
I don't understand.
Well, it seems, unfortunately, that my efforts to distract Frank's attention from Miss Coleridge are too little and too late.
You mean they are going back together?
Oh, nothing as drastic as all that. She merely intends to take as much of his time as possible for the next months, thereby doing maximum damage to the campaign.
How will she do that?
Ooh, she's going to have him woo her and the baby to see if they're compatible again. Well, he may lose a seat in the Senate. Brilliant opportunity, but Miss Coleridge is a mother.
You don't like mothers.
Oh, I'm very fond of my own mother, and there are about a half a dozen other women who are mothers that I respect very much. But one thing I hate are women who use their children to destroy a man's opportunities.
Oh.
I have told Frank he cannot go around courting Miss Coleridge and mount a full-time campaign, to say nothing of the very real problem he faces if he is identified as an illegitimate father. But he insists he can continue seeing her and win on both counts.
You don't think he can do that?
I'm not going to allow him to.
How will you stop it?
Well, for one thing, the campaign will limit the amount of time he has available to see people who aren't on his staff. For another, there's a perfectly good alternative for the lady in question.
Dr. Bolak, you mean?
Precisely. Why not? He's unmarried, he's available, and he loves Miss Coleridge and her baby.
That is true. And I know that she has spent quite a bit of time by his bedside in the hospital, but wasn't there some difficulty between them?
Nothing that can't be overcome. We'll just have to find a way to help them make it up. Really, Alicia, it would be the best thing in the world for Frank if Miss Coleridge were to marry Dr. Bolak.
Yes, but doesn't Frank have
As a
something...
matter of fact, I really may. I really may turn my attention to ways and means to encourage that to happen.
Is that possible?
Alicia, anything is possible. With enough time, effort, money, and imagination. Actually, I rather fancy playing Cupid for Dr. Bolak and Miss Coleridge. I really do.
Mr. Ryan, good evening. Can I take your coat?
Sure.
Frank! We were just talking about you. I have come up with a perfectly marvelous plan in your behalf.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you mean. And, what are you doing in here anyway?
I can't help wondering why you're pretending you don't know who I am.
Who are you? Oh, yes. You're the friend from Ireland who was waiting in Tom's office yesterday.
Aye, and a damn sight more than that.
Please, I don't understand. Are you still looking for Tom?
You might say so, yes.
Well, then, you haven't heard the news about Tom.
It's Dr. Coleridge, isn't it?
That's right.
Where is he, Dr. Coleridge?
Where's who?
Tom!
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Tom's dead. They said a rosary tonight at Zabo's funeral parlor, and services will be at 9 in the morning.
I was at the funeral home.
Well, then you know.
All very touching it was. So many tears, so many people who cared. I was sorry my father wasn't there. So I was trying to memorize the way everything looked. Every detail. Because I knew he'd want every detail.
Look, I don't understand what you want.
Well, there was a bit of an oversight at the funeral home tonight. The guest of honor wasn't there.
What in the world are you talking about?
I had enjoyed myself thoroughly because I've been looking forward to the burial of Tom O'Brien for several years now. Ever since he killed my brother and was responsible for the death of my sister also.
Please, I don't know what this is all about, but, I'd like you to leave.
Well, what it's all about is that after everyone had gone, I took a peek inside Tom's casket. It was a very disappointing moment. Where is he, Dr. Coleridge?
You mean he wasn't in the casket?
Yes.
Well, then there's been some mistake. They put the wrong casket on display. He's in the funeral home somewhere.
I don't think so.
Look, why don't we go and ask? I'm sure they can clear this up. I know Tom is dead because I was with him when he died.
He's here.
How can you say that?
Because you were here instead of at your own home or at the hospital.
Look, Tom and I were more than friends, and, I came back here because I wanted to feel close to him.
Ah, well, that's what I was thinking, too. I have the distinct feeling that I'm very close to him at this very moment. Only where is he, Dr. Coleridge? There's only one room.
He's dead. I told you. I saw him die. He's in the funeral home somewhere.
I came a long way, and I don't intend to be cast off by some slip of a girl. Now tell me where he is and stop lying to me.
Why would I lie to you?
Because you made the same mistake as my sister did about him. Because you're trying to protect him.
It's too late to protect him.
All right. Maybe I'll believe that. If you tell it to me again after I break both your arms.
Please, I have told you.
I'll do whatever I have to do.
Will you come with me to the funeral home? Will you let me show you there?
No, and I don't want any more of this bloody nonsense.
There's nothing I can tell you.
Damn it, you're lying now. That wake tonight was a sham to make me think he was dead. Now, you know who I am. And you know I'm the one who put the bullet in Tom. You also know I'll do anything I have to do to make you talk.
All right. Let her go, Lean.
This week, I know it was you, Annie. You set up the entire kidnapping.
The showdown you saw coming.
I love you, Ryan. Please don't make me do this.
And the one you didn't.
Don't take another step.
Watch All My Children, weekdays on ABC and weeknights at 8 on Soap.
Or no.
Consider.com.
Considering the way in which I left here this afternoon, I'm surprised you would do anything in my behalf.
Wasn't that bad. Alicia, we're in for a long strategy planning session, and I know you want to get home to Angel, so...
Good night. Thank you. Good night, Mr.
Good
Ryan.
night, Alicia. I wanted to drop by on the way home because, well, I've been regretting the tone on which we parted before.
I'm sure it was just the first of many wonderful disagreements we're going to have in the next 8 months. Long after that, I hope.
Well, I wanted to say I'm sorry if I came on too strong. But I still stand by what I said.
Well, we can't agree on everything. And for my part, if I'm a bit imperious, it is because I've become accustomed to getting my own way without a struggle.
Then we're even.
Right. Let's clear the air, huh? The fact is, I have such strong confidence in your potential, I'd hate to see you make a mistake that could hurt your chances. By which I mean Miss Coleridge.
Ray, we are going to have some ground rules.
I'm not terribly fond of ground rules I don't make.
My personal life is going to be off limits. You're just going to have to trust me to manage the campaign and the situation with Jill and the baby.
Are you saying to me that if I agree to your continuing to make the effort to work things out with Miss Coleridge, you will make a commitment to a full, all-stops-out campaign?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Ray, I want to be with Edmund and Jill. And I also want very much to go to the Senate.
Is there anything I can say to shake your confidence in your ability to do both?
No. I may not have a lot of time for Edmund and Jill, but I will use whatever I have.
Has it occurred to you that Miss Coleridge may not be satisfied with the very small amounts of time you're going to have?
She'll understand.
She could start seeing Dr. Bolak again, while you're on an upstate campaign swing, for instance.
I trust Jill, Ray.
Dr. Bolak could become a very persistent suitor while you're away.
Well, then I'll have to believe in her, won't I? Either way, it'll be up to Jill to work things out. Well, there's no point in doing it at all.
Right? Let's say you're up in Albany, Buffalo, making a series of speeches, and you hear that Jill is seeing Dr. Bolak. Will that upset you?
I don't know. Possibly.
Enough to drop everything? Come back to New York?
That's very difficult to say, Ray.
See, I'm just trying to get a real picture of how firm your commitment is going to be. I'd hate to have a room of about 100 people each of whom has paid $1,000 for the express privilege of meeting you and hearing you speak, waiting and know that you were going to stand them up if something cropped up and you had to come back to Miss Coleridge.
Well, under those circumstances, I'd say I'd have to stay with the campaign. But if I had a free day, I would come back.
All right, I accept it.
Ray, what you have to understand is that I am quite sure Jill wants to work things out as badly as I do. So I am sure everything can be managed.
Well, we can only hope. Cupid is such a fickle god.
Well, all we can do is try.
Right. All right, then. Full speed ahead. All stops out campaign for the Senate, huh?
All stops out.
Right. Good. Now, we've got to talk about some fundraising.
Okay.
As I see it, your major problem is that you're practically unknown outside New York City. Now, that means getting out and being seen.
That's right.
And as you know, I have an organization in 23 cities and towns all through the state.
Yes, which is what gives me my chance at all.
Now, I want to use the organization to expose you to as many people as possible at $1,000 a head, which is the maximum allowable campaign contribution.
You mean the rubber chicken circuit?
Oh, you better believe it. We hold a series of Meet Your Candidate nights for a lucky 100 invited few who are allowed to spend $1,000. I'm talking about raising $100,000 a night.
In 23 cities.
Uh-huh. Just for starters. You see, this way, we combine getting out and meeting people with building a campaign fund, which we then use later on when we start going into TV spots during the last 6 weeks of the campaign. How do you think?
I'm game. I think it's a good idea, Ray. I really do.
Beyond that, we hold question and answer sessions for the leaders of the municipal unions, most of whom I think you know. There we pay for the refreshments.
Well, I know the city people, but I don't know many of the upstate leaders.
Oh, boy. Is that going to change? You are going to know everybody. This is going to be a people's campaign. You are going to become the working man's candidate.
These are working men who will be attending my $1,000 a night dinners?
Rich working men.
Well, if they want to contribute, who am I to refuse, right?
Oh, Frank, by the time I get through with them, we are going to have them standing in line begging to give you money. You're a winner. In politics, people like winners.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Ooh, well, I'll remember that for later on. Now, as to the ladies.
You're going to do tea parties, right?
My clever candidate.
My mother pouring, my sister pouring.
No, wife of Mr. Very Important Man pouring, and pictures of you smiling at old ladies, kissing babies, being hugged by just about everybody.
Well, then what you're talking about is an old-fashioned, down-home, out-to-meet-the-people campaign, going from village to city, all across the state.
Right. It's tough. It's a lot of hard work, it's time-consuming, but it's the best way for them to touch you, see you, and come to believe in you as much as I do. What do you think?
I think it's terrific. You don't go into politics unless you like this sort of thing. My guess is I'm going to have the time of my life.
And win a Senate election.
I think so.
And that's what you want to do.
Oh, that's what I want.
Good. And you remember that the next time a problem comes up with Miss Coleridge and her baby and you have to choose between dealing with them or fulfilling a campaign commitment.
Next, see as it
Fine lines and
You know what the saddest part is? That Thomas missed so much. I was so counting on him, getting together with Faith.
Certainly looked like they were headed in each other's direction.
I wish she'd had a chance to share with Faith the sort of thing that I found with Jack.
I used to think that being a bachelor was the greatest thing. Free, independent, didn't have to count to anybody, but you get right down to it, being married is better.
Well, it's an ancient institution, darling. There must be some reason why it's hung around all these years.
Tom would have made some girl. Marvelous husband, I always said that.
Tom ought to have gotten married and had some babies and watched them all grow up in a house full of books and friends. all the good things in life instead.
Well, it's all over now. Poor lad.
Let her go, Liam.
Oh, my God, a hidden room. That's a good trick.
Let her go. She's got nothing to do with this.
No.
You're full of surprises, aren't you, Tom? I'll have to keep my eye on you.
You all right, Faith?
Yes. Please leave us alone. Tom didn't mean to hurt anyone in your family.
Don't, Faith. It won't help.
It's far too late now to beg for mercy.
You'll be caught.
Maybe, maybe not.
Liam, you won't get away with this.
As a matter of fact, I've already sent word to my father that you're dead. Included your obituary, in fact. Now, it'd be an awful surprise to him if you were to turn up alive, wouldn't it? He'd be awfully disappointed.
Liam, let her go. She's got nothing to do with this.
You're not going to try and jump me again, are you, Tom? Because that's not going to work twice.
How can he fight? You can't just see that he's hurt.
Oh, he looks in a whole lot better shape than I hoped he'd be.
Liam, please, let her go.
Tom, I will not leave you.
Since everyone back home thinks you're dead, we're just going to have to see to it that you are, aren't we?
Oh, let him go!
Not this time.
The gun! Where's the gun?
Friday, November 28th, SoapNet is serving up a tailor-made Beverly Hills 90210 marathon with every guy that Kelly Taylor has loved and left behind. Take a holiday from the holidays starting Friday, November 28th from 11 to 11 only on SoapNet.